word that has become mainstream in American society in the last generation. It's one word that really is just the starting point for describing a variety of developmental, social, communicative, and learning disabilities that in recent years has been called autism spectrum disorder. But that spectrum definition is changing, and some parents of children with autism are very much concerned that the government and medical community may not respond as they should, and perhaps have not been responding as they should. With me now is U.S. Representative Pat Meehan. Congressman Meehan is a Republican from the 7th Congressional District, which is parts of 5 counties, including his home county of Delaware County. Congressman, thanks for being here.
Great to be with you, Steve. Thanks.
Before we get into autism, let's pick up on an economic discussion. So the political will, as we get near holiday time here, to Christmas time, is a big deal going to get done?
I'm optimistic that a deal will get done that will enable us to not only deal in the short run with the fiscal cliff issues, which is finding the way to generate some new revenues, but also lay out the guidelines to do 2 things. We've got to get real prescriptions for dealing with the long-term debt and ways in which we can simplify the tax code to create the kind of economic environment to grow jobs.
All the public statements have been that the Obama administration's not recommending certain things, and the Republicans in the House aren't recommending certain things, but privately, are real discussions going on?
Yeah, there's real discussions going on, and this is a play that has been both Speaker Boehner and President Obama have a history of working with each other. It's going to be give and take on both sides, but Speaker Boehner made a significant, I think, offer with the $800 billion in new revenues, and
he didn't get really specific though on those. He gave a number, but he didn't get specific as to what is in that.
That's new revenue, and I think what we need to understand what the balanced approach is, because we have to understand where we're going on the other side as well.
Let's talk about autism. You have held a congressional hearing. In addition to that, you earlier in this past week were in Delaware County and Havertown talking about a roundtable discussion with a lot of stakeholders in this. Do you believe that the NIH and the CDC look at autism spectrum disorder as a concern or as a crisis?
No, I don't believe that there's the recognition that I am finding. I mean, I have to tell you, I have been not just alarmed, but almost stunned by the appreciation of how broad the impact is of autism and the growth that we've seen over the course of the last decade. So that what had once been, 1 in hundreds is now diagnosed 1 in 88 and 1 in 54 boys. So we are now getting something in which the question I asked, I mean, is this just a healthcare concern, or is it an epidemic?
Well, I may be wrong, but I watched that hearing, and I don't think you got an answer from them. Did you?
No, I was not satisfied with the answer, and I think what we saw again was a little bit of sort of bureaucratic retreat again to, well, we're doing the best we can, and I think if you talk to the...
What can we do? What will you do now?
I think one of the critical things that I learned from that is there needs to be more of a strategic plan in which there is a real effort. Right now they've put people together and they're sort of collaborating, but nobody was in charge. And I asked that question. When we wake up today, 1 in 88 children is being diagnosed. Who's responsible for looking at that? And they all pointed to somebody else and said, well, they're kind of involved, we're involved. It's a committee. And with something this significant, what I want to see is somebody who wakes up in the morning and says, this is my job.
There is a movement underway. In fact, it's kicked in, but it's just really being recognized now, to redefine autism. And it was 3 categories generally, and Asperger's was one of them, the higher end performing of it. But now the new DSM-5 by the American Psychiatric Association has autism spectrum disorder. And there are people in the community who are concerned that this will actually affect how they get educational support, how they get medical support, what the insurance companies would do, that maybe it's a clever way of trying to address that 1 in 88 number to get it be 1 in 110 again or something. What do you think?
I think that what they will tell you is it will actually create the ability to have more accurate diagnoses, and that more children will actually be recognized in that spectrum, and that it should help clarify things. One of the realities I'm seeing is parents are just frustrated with different reactions from different agencies that have responsibilities. And so, school districts, human services, they talk across each other, and the parent is left without any kind of avenue except for, their own ability to promote the interest of their child. So hopefully this leads to some sort of a simplification, not more ambiguity.
More on what the congressman says he'll do about the concerns of people with autism in a moment on NBC 10.